Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we return for your 100% tier season finale. And it is going to be held tonight at Abu Dhabi. Of course, known as the Yas Marina circuit, and typical for the 3.2 mile circuit here, with two lengthy straights, which are back-to-back DRS zones as well, to potentially complete overtakes on. We'll see a heck of a lot of action, I imagine, tonight in the realistic cars, and there will be two drivers battling it out for the 100% tier championship, and it could feature a man who is battling for two championships this season, battling on both fronts tonight and tomorrow night. He could be a two-time champion in Season 5. And it is the man we are just going to scroll up to, the Alpine of Murk, who does typically take a little bit of time just to get out on track, normally anyways, before going probably for a couple of outlaps. But Widget does seem to be the first driver out on track, so we'll go to the Red Bull driver then. But yeah, it is Murk who is on top for the championship, and providing, I think really, because he's got a 17-point gap over RustedBolt, so all Murk would need to do really is finish the race. But let's say the off chance he DNFs, that means RustedBolt will be right in the picture, and it would then depend on the likes of the fastest lap on pole position as well. But if Murk DNFs, that's the only way RustedBolt can take the title tonight. So he needs a bit of a miracle really, because Murk typically does not DNF from races. And obviously if you saw the tier 2 race, I was racing in it, yours sincerely took the championship by virtue of not really wanting to race. He wasn't really trying to go side by side with any driver, so well, we'll see what Murk does tonight, but I imagine Murk will go with a little bit of a different game plan. Maybe he'll want to go and end on a high and take the victory at Abu Dhabi, let alone taking the title. Let's go back down then towards PRV Widget, just about to kickstart his lap beyond turn 16 onto the straight here at a 60,000 capacity circuit. Of course, Abu Dhabi, with all its lights, it's such a lovely track where we've seen a multitude of drivers taking the title at Abu Dhabi, including the likes of Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg, of course, over the years. Have crucially taken the title at this circuit as Coffee, serving as qualifying ban, has retired in the pit lane. Let's stick then with Widget opting for the medium compound tyre for his first run, so we'll just see how he goes. Also, I've noted Coffee on the hard tyres, which clearly indicates to me he's gone for the harder setup, meaning he will have two sets of softs, two sets of mediums, and two sets of hards in case he needs them for the race. That could be a very smart strategy call indeed. Widget 53.9 beyond the sector 2 as he is very squirmish on the bend around turn 9 and now into turns 10, 11 and 12, all thick and fast. Rising to the game is PRV Widget, and he's back at it again then on the exit of 13 into 14, and now pushing on to the final couple of corners into 15 and 16, which you want to take at a strong speed before slowing it down beyond the pit entry, of course. And now completing the lap here at Yas Marina is Widget 25.549 for the Red Bull driver, and it's of course going to be quickest so far. We move down towards the Ferrari of Doug, who's just heading into the sector 2 split time on a soft compound tyres. It's a 53.8, and it is purple. How about the Red Bull? That is Pro Beast on a lap as well, 55.3, to some distance away from the Ferrari of Doug, but Doug certainly pushing all the way here. And let's see as he just rides the curve quite heavily, in fact, down at turns 12 and into 13 and 14 now for the exit for the Ferrari. And let's just see how Doug will fare here tonight. Of course, driving in one of the quicker cars, but it doesn't mean everything. But Doug across the line, 23.9. Of course, that will put him on P1 ahead of the medium tyre runner of Widget. And now it's the next Red Bull of Pro Beast, and without pushing he does go P3, 27.6 without using his battery. Let's go down towards Parkour now, who is driving in the Alfa Romeo. Soft compound tyre is on, and Parkour will cross the line and go quickest, 3 tenths ahead of Doug. So Parkour currently is on top of the pile here. We drop down towards the late bloomer. Invalidation, though, for his lap time. So he'll have to go again in the Aston Martin. But fortunately, he does have the ERS to go for it. And our PRV widget has gone around the track. So he will head into the pit lane. Just take it a little bit easily. Don't forget, you do have a little bit of a bump going into the pit lane. So you want to make sure you take it nice and easy. Pro Beast improving by almost 4 tenths. And I believe that was through the Sector 1 split. So we'll just keep watch of him through the Sector 2 split time just coming up now. And Pro Beast is improving by 1.6 seconds. Here we go. Here's a chance for the Red Bull of Pro Beast to prove his worth tonight in the Red Bull. And he is pushing his car to the maximum into turn number 12 now. We vie for the position here for Pro Beast. And the Red Bull continuing to push the car. And don't forget, you've got to take it slowly through into turns 13 and 14 before you push the car again quickly into the double right handers at 15 and 16. And now onto the main straight comes Pro Beast. And he will push his car into the second row. 24.6 for the Red Bull driver. We'll drop it down again as Link's piece is on an outlap. But his teammate, which is Parkour, is reverting into the pit lane and decides... doesn't quite like the bollards around here and just decides to take it out. So let's see anybody else. There's Brewdog also just starting his hot lap and will go probably back to late bloomer, who of course invalidated his previous run, but he's going again and he will be 25.5 to put him onto the second row ahead of only PRV Widget by 9 thousandths of a second. Mr. Poem also one of those pushing on, and your championship leader set to take the title tonight, providing he finishes the race. That is Murk, and Destroyer Drac over the line. It's at 24.4, although I imagine it was invalidated because there was no set time. So I think it was invalidation for Destroyer Jack, unfortunately for him, as Murk will be about to start his lap, and Mr. Poem starts his lap as well in the Williams. Let's see if any of the leaders are improving. It doesn't look like it, as RustedBolt did actually go third fastest in the Haas. It's a 24.5 for him, of course. Second in championship. He'll just need to make sure he gets the best result possible. Whether it's a win, probably needs at least a podium. In all fairness, if he can get onto the podium, that would be a strong position, providing Murk does DNF. But again, that does seem very unlikely. Brewdog is on the medium compound tyre. So let's see how he will do, as there are yellow flags on the main straight. But Brewdog beyond turn 16 onto the straight now. And it will be P5 for him with 24.8 on the medium tyres though. So it's still done well, 7 tenths quicker than PRV Widget in the Red Bull. And we'll drop it down again to have a little look. He's Destroyer Drac on a lap. I think he's taking it easy because he's recovering his battery. Up to 70% now, as he will be trying just to take it a little bit more easily. Murk is pushing again, and Mr. Poem taking it easily. And you've got Link's piece up there as well. It's currently on a hot lap, so we'll just stick with the Alfa Romeo with that in mind. Through into 13 and on to 14. You just want to make sure you straighten your car up here, which he doesn't do really. He doesn't do an almost bend it himself, but now on the exit of turn 16, let's see how the Alfa Romeo will fare on this lap. 24.9, and it does put him at P2, and it is an Alfa Romeo 1 and 2, but will Murk take it away when he's not using his battery? But a 25.3 still puts him P7, a good lap there, as Mr. Poem also about to start his hot lap, and RustedBolt is just behind as well, pushing on for another lap here. Have a look. Brewdog just narrowly improving by some 25 thousandths of a second as well. So let's just watch the Ferrari about to cross the line, or will he go into the pit lane? I think he's into the pits, and indeed going in as the Ferrari. We've got less than 9 minutes of qualifying remaining. Bolt is improving by 1/10 of a second. Link's piece, I'm presuming, will not be improving. Let's have a little look then. See where. I think Widget's just on an outlap, so we won't necessarily have to go to him. The Alfa Romeo of Link's piece will be the next car, but again, just not improving. So we'll go towards the championship leader then, as Murk is about to go into the Sector 2 split time. 23.1, it is purple, and improving by almost 1.4 seconds already. So we'll stick with the Alpine driver here as he's into sector 3 and going round into turns 10, 11 and 12 again. Heavy braking point before you want to revert nicely into turn 13. And then you want to keep up the speed through into turns 14 as well. And on the exit he will come through as more yellow flags on the main straight. And now turns 15 and crucially into 16 where you want to get the right hander nicely and onto the curb he goes and goes fast with a 23.3. And that could be a bonus point for Murk. And that could be crucial as well. Again, if he DNFs, that extra point for pole could be significant. Because that would mean Bolt would need to guarantee himself a minimum of a podium just to take the title if Murk DNFs. RustedBolt now then is not improving. So we will stay in P5. What about Mr. Poem? He's also taking it easy, but did go P6 with a 24.4 in the Williams. So now he'll just back off on this lap time. Brewdog as well. Back out onto a set of the soft compound tyre. And we'll give you the full tyre regulations that they're all on at the moment. And Brewdog, there you go. Widget also back out on softs and improving by 7.5 tenths of a second. And you've got his teammate Pro Beast about to start a hot lap as well. Let's just stick with PRV Widget then. Through into turn number 13 and now into turn 14 and 15 he will come, and finally into 16, and let's see if PRV Widget will have a boost and push his way further up the field. And he does go onto the second row for PRV Widget. It's enough for P3, a 23.8 for him. Strong time there from PRV Widget, of course, driving in tier 3. Excellent display at Qatar in tier 2 as well as Destroyer Drac. Slightly in the pit, that will be Murk, who actually just went into the pit lane as well. And Bolt also making his way into the pit. And I believe WBA Brewdog will be starting his lap. And Mr. Poem will also be going into the pit very soon as well. I think with all this in mind, I will go towards parkour, improving by less than a tenth of a second, however. So it doesn't look likely that the Alfa Romeo will pick off Murk on this lap time and may just want to go into the pits and push for a final lap. Again, just keeping it nicely within track limits as well, which is really, really easy to cut the call. Oh, that was close. Parkour almost lost it into the pit wall here at Abu Dhabi, but saving herself at Yas Marina, just about able to do so, as Pro Beast across the line only improves to go P7, but improves by half a second here. But yeah, parkour just getting away with it, you've got to say. Very fortunate there, but yeah, that 17-point gap below between the two leaders, Murk and RustedBolt. Depending on how qualifying goes, that could increase, that may even decrease. But Brewdog improving by 4 tenths of a second through the Sector 2 split time. I think where's Pro Beast at the moment? Just there, so he's okay. So we'll just stick with Brewdog and we'll continue that 4 tenths improvement. How much would he improve on this lap low? He's got to go for a 23.3 to take pole. And at the moment, you may even argue, you may have to get into the 22s if you want to take pole here at the Yas Marina. And let's see, Brewdog across the line, 24.0, does go P7. But it's still quite a way off the pace of Murk and the Alfa Romeos, plus Widget looking very strong. Dug up there in P5 as well, so the Ferrari has delivered a good lap time. Everybody else seems to be on an outlap here with just over 4 minutes remaining. And Destroyer Drac is the one who will go. Oh no, never mind. He's invalidated, which means he's also invalidated his next lap. So that could mean Destroyer Drac will go into the pit lane. Pro Beast as well. I think he'll just go straight into the pit as well. So Drac, or will he? Yeah, he does. So Destroyer Drac then, well, he's got to go round the entire track once more just to get his car into the pit lane. And then go again. So we'll see how long this can take him, because, I mean, it's not the longest circuit. It will take you less than 90 seconds to get around, as you can see from the lap times. So we might be okay. I think he'll be okay to get himself into the pit and back out for a final run, but it won't be, he won't have a lot of time to warm up his tyres for that final run. As again, he goes off track, but it doesn't mean anything in this case. As long as it doesn't drastically go off track, he's okay. Let's see, as WBA Brewdog also goes to the pit lane, and he will go out once more. A couple of drivers, Mr. Poem, Late Bloomer, Bolt and Doug, all are out, and now RustedBolt is about to start his lap, and we do imagine Drac will head into the pits. But we'll stick with Bolt and through into turn 1. And again, you want to get onto the curb so you can make the left-hander at turn 2 neat and tidy, and again through onto the bend around turn 3 as you continue to push your car to the limit here. And now he's improving by less than half a tenth here, which if he keeps up with that improvement, he's definitely not going to get close to pole. Definitely needs to improve by a significant amount, and he's just not doing it at this moment in time. And this will be his final run here for RustedBolt as the Lithuanian comes through now through the heavy braking zone, down at the chicane through turn 6 and 7. And on the exit of the corner again, it gets a little bit tricky for the Haas driver. And now onto the bend here, round at turns 8 into turn 9. And let's just see if Bolt is improving. Yeah, he's improving by, again, about a tenth of a second. Again, though, not enough to go on pole. So I don't think Murk will have to worry about losing pole to RustedBolt. And Bolt now will try and push his car towards, maybe towards PRV Widget in the Red Bull, is where RustedBolt can try to threaten the other driver. So I don't think he's even going to get onto the front row unless he has a blistering final sector here. So down through into turn 16 he goes. Now RustedBolt, less than 2 minutes to go, and he does go third fastest. But again, he's not onto the front row. And that will be pretty much quaddy over for Bolt, unless he can save up his battery for the final run and push his car once more. As we see Doug now improving by 2.5 tenths of a second. He's looking pretty rapid in the Ferrari. And we're just going to stick with his delta time as well through into this. And here you go, he's improving by almost half a second. Doug, out of all the drivers, could be the one to potentially take pole away from Murk. Will it be temporary or will it be permanent? Well, we'll see what he can deliver. The Alfa Romeos are also coming through in the form of Link's Piece and Parkour. Has just started her lap. Bolt, of course, just set that time. Widget, one of those to go again. Link's Piece going again. But one man who is pushing here is the Ferrari. Out of turn 16 comes Doug. Will he go fastest? No, not quite. Purple sector 3 and goes onto the front row. It's a 23.4 for him. And within a tenth of a second of Murk, who is only on an out lap on this occasion. We'll drop it down and see Brewdog will start his lap very soon. 40 seconds of qualifying remaining. And Destroyer Drac did get round. And he will have enough time just about to go for his final run as well. I think every driver up to late Bloomer has enough to go again. But Bloomer, he was very slow through into the sector 2 split. So he is just trying to recover his battery. He's got 20 seconds to do so. Invalidated his lap there. So he's only got 50% battery. I don't think Bloomer's going to have enough to improve again. But every driver is coming round. Bolt going again, 80% DRS for him. Can he improve? It will be quite astounding if RustedBolt can improve on a provisional P4. And now we're going to move towards the Alfa Romeos. Parkour, however, not improving and will not improve. It's game over for Parkour. If she wanted a front row, she's not going to get it in qualifying. She will come round to complete a lap, but it will not be enough nonetheless, however. It would have been an improvement by less than half a tenth. She would not have improved position. And now we'll drop it down to the other Alfa Romeo. Here comes Link's Piece. Will he go quickest? It's P3 for Link's Piece, and PRV Widget now will come through. Pro Beast goes P8. PRV Widget remains in P6. So no improvement on the cards there. And now we'll have a look at Mr. Poem, improving by 3 tenths, but goes into the pit lane. So no improvement for Mr. Poem. Destroyer Drac will be one of the next drivers through. Doug heads into the pit lane, and we'll drop it down towards WBA Brewdog, improving by 2 tenths of a second here in qualifying. Across the line, he will go into P6. So the Ferrari's up in the top half at the moment. Destroyer Drac is next, and then it'll be your potential pole sitter. Drac across the line, go second fastest, unbelievably close. Murk at the end almost lost it, but Drac loses out on pole by 8 thousandths of a second. There is an improvement at the end for RustedBolt as well, who goes up to 5th fastest ahead of Parkour. But it is Murk on pole, edging out Drac by some very it's just a minuscule of a distance between them. Incredible pace from both Murk and Drac, but it is Murk taking a bonus point here, and that will mean the gap heading into the race will be 18 points. Murk ahead of RustedBolt. The question would be, who has won the most races out of the two? Because the standings I've got doesn't actually show who has won the races. I'm kind of imagining over the course of a season. I mean, I can easily go through the race results in all fairness, which I will do. But again, I don't think these race results are fully updated. I'm imagining it might be Murk with the most race wins. So if he has an 18-point gap, I think he did get a win during the season as well. So an 18-point gap and with more wins. That will mean now, RustedBolt, even if Murk DNFs, RustedBolt must now finish in the top 2. Or get 3rd place and the fastest lap to win the title. So, of course, we will have our customary 5-minute break. And then we'll be going at what will be 20:32. Will be the time that we will be due to go. But Murk on pole, crucial point potentially for the race. And we'll just sort it out in the race day lounge to ensure the drivers are aware. Ready up at 20:32. There you go. So a little break and I'll be back in a few moments time. But that is your qualifying completed. Can Murk complete what could be the first of 2 potential titles this season? Or will RustedBolt take an astonishing first title for him in Season 5? We'll find out in a few moments time. Right, and we are back, and we're about to get to the action here. Murk confirming he's won 2 races this season. He's about to push for 3rd. Let's see if he can get it and win the title here. As it's lights out, and away we go at Yas Marina. Murk and Drac pulling alongside, side by side, going for different strategies, and Murk is up the front, and Doug up into 2nd place. What a start from the Ferrari. He edges clear of Drac, who is trying to keep Lynx at bay. Side by side they come. It's Drac and Lynx. Through the bends, down round turn 4 and into turn 5 we go, and Drac has been passed by the soft tyre runner. Lynx is through, and the Alfa Romeo is flying, and now battling in behind are Parkour and RustedBolt, as Mr. Poem also opting for the soft compound tyre, likewise as PRV Widget, and of course the man in P3, Lynx Peace. As now a move being made, Mr. Poem is taking advantage of Coffee, and now up into the P9. Coffee just dropping down the field and going through up ahead, as Brewdog is all over the rear now of RustedBolt. Bolt, don't forget, battling for the title, and side by side coming Parkour and Drac is dropping down the field once again, and here comes RustedBolt making a move around the outside, and Bolt losing several places on the start. Having started in P2, he's now down in P6 on the hard compound tyre, and they are not working for him as he potentially drifts off track as well. Let's turn off the telemetry, and here we go again as Bolt taking a narrow line, well not Bolt, sorry, Drac taking a narrow line, and Brewdog will just allow himself to push the car a little bit more as well. Don't forget Brewdog is on the mediums, and he's got a couple of soft tyre runners in behind, including Mr. Poem, who potentially may have just gone off track clear. As Coffee now some 1 second short of this pace, and he will be trying to close that gap to ensure he does get DRS on the run through into lap 3, of course. But onto lap 2 we go, and Drac now taking full advantage because Bolt goes off track. So through goes Destroyer Drac Claire, and Bolt losing that place. And now he will have a Ferrari and a Red Bull both pushing for the move, and Brewdog will be accustomed to that one, but he won't go for the overtake into landing port at turn 5. And now they'll continue to squabble down as Mr. Poem and Widget will come through in side by side battling, and as you can clearly see, they are side by side onto the run through into turn 6 and 7. Who will edge their car ahead? They will be alongside each other as the Red Bull of Widget just try and hold a place here, but Mr. Poem has been spun a little bit, and Widget will just about hold a place down. But Poem, as a result, now will be under threat from Coffee and up ahead now, as Lynx Peace does take advantage, and Murk has dropped down because Doug is leading the race, and he's leading the race by 1.2 seconds. And now, as Parkour, a little bit squirmy herself, but Doug has started to run away with things here. A 1 second lead, and Doug is looking impeccable in the Ferrari early days here at Yas Marina. So Parkour now is the one trying to battle her way through the field, and she knows she's got the title leader in the form of Murk up ahead, both on the medium tyres as well. But Doug is also on mediums, and look at the gap he's putting out, and Doug fastest lap at 28.5 for him. And Doug, who knows, this could be his first victory of the season, and would this be his first win in the league as well? I believe it would be. So what a night to potentially do it in the 100% tier at Yas Marina. But of course, we've only got about 56 laps of racing remaining, so anything could happen. But PRV Widget has now been overtaken by Coffee. Of course, he did previously on the previous lap, of course, on lap 2, have that little incident through the chicane down at turn 6 and 7 with Mr. Poem. Let's go back through the field. Parkour still behind Murk, and don't forget we are having DRS here, which unfortunately for Doug, he has Lynx Peace within half a second, and Doug may have to defend that position here. Just ensure he doesn't use too much battery trying to do it, knowing that Lynx is on the better tyres, don't forget. We'll drop it down again because RustedBolt drawing alongside with Destroyer Drac now around the curve through turn 9 into turns 10, 11 and 12. And it does look like Destroyer Drac is just ahead as he rides the curb on the way through into turn 12. And indeed, the Williams just holding out, but the gap is quite significant to the top 4 who are running away with things. And that means the likes of Bolt, Brewdog and Mr. Poem, I'm sure, as well as Coffee, will really want to make a move on Destroyer Drac within the next few laps. And back through as Murk, fastest lap now, 27.8 on the medium tyres. It's not Lynx Peace on this occasion. Nonetheless, it's also not likes of Mr. Poem or Widget on those soft tyres. How quickly will they run out of steam here on those softs? we shall see, as we're on lap 4 now, running through into turn 5. Yeah, that gap being formed from the top 4 down to Destroyer Drac. Although Drac is on the hard tyres, he's now having to defend his place from these drivers behind, which includes this man, RustedBolt, who will be making inroads, and he will go down the inside of Destroyer Drac, and into turn 6 and 7 he will go, and he will have the place, as will Lynx, who makes a move on Doug, and is up ahead and leading the Grand Prix now. As Doug will have DRS though, and he will try to take the place. Murk in behind as well. And we'll just keep watching this squabble as into the bend at turn 9. They shall vie for the place here. But I do think Lynx has just about held on to the lead. And we'll drop it down towards Destroyer Drac as well. Beyond the bend, through into turns 10, 11 and 12. I don't think Drac is just about close enough on this occasion. So he will have to just hang in behind on RustedBolt. And the Haas driver will certainly look to pull away from Drac if he can, but it will be tricky with the double DRS zone here at Yas Marina. And we'll have a little drop down the field because I see a little battle emerging between Pro Beast and Late Bloomer. And actually, Late Bloomer is into the pits, and as is Mr. Poem. And Mr. Poem retiring from the race. That's been an incident potentially. So Bloomer's in. Obviously, Mr. Poem has DNF'd. So something has happened potentially further down the field, which also sees Pro Beast dropping off. As Pro Beast going for a set of soft tyres, change of front wing as well, which clearly suggests to me there may have been contact between Bloomer and Mr. Poem, potentially Pro Beast as well. I'm not too sure. I can't tell you who exactly would have been the ones at fault, as a battle has emerged now between Lynx and Doug once more. I will go with the leaders here on the run through into turn 9. It does look like Lynx has he got enough to stay ahead, but Doug pushing for the move round the outside, side by side into the bend at turn 9, and the Alfa Romeo of Lynx is just about hanging ahead. Murk keeping watch of this one. Yellow flags through into sector 1. Nothing major because it is the Mr. Poem DNF, but here we go once more. Let's see if any moves will be made. All these 4 drivers well within the 1 second window. Lynx Piece, Doug, Murk and Parkour, the 2 Alfa Romeos, are scrapping away with the Ferrari and your championship leader of Murk in the frame as well. A RustedBolt also 7 tenths ahead of Destroyer Drac. He's starting to pull out that gap. If he can get over a second ahead before the run into turn 5, that would really allow for Bolt to push on potentially. And may also see Brewdog overtake Drac also on the run through. But let's see anyway, so we head down into turn 5. And it does seem Lynx Piece and Doug are just settling for their places right now. But I don't imagine it would last too long before Doug or even Murk make a move, as Doug actually has run out of his battery with his red light flashing. He has nothing left in his locker, but he may have an overtake in his locker. He does make some contact with Lynx, but they continue down through turn 6 and 7 to push for the move. Who has got the move and who has got DRS infamously? And it does seem like Murk is also ahead. Murk is second. Murk is leading. He has got the place on the 2 Alfa Romeos now of Lynx and Parkour, who is also entering the fray and almost making a move down the inside of her teammate. And now Parkour is side by side battling with Doug here, and the Ferrari has gone from P1 to P4 in a matter of just 3 corners here effectively, and that is not what Doug would have wanted. He's dropping down the field, and can he keep pace with the 3 runners ahead? That will be crucial for his race, just to stay up player really. He'll want to stay in DRS range, but can he do it? He's certainly got the car, he has definitely got the pace I think from this season to keep up there with those guys, but do not discount RustedBolt and also Destroyer Drac, who is staying with Bolt quite nicely now. And if these 4 keep battling side by side with each other through corners, that could enable for the likes of Bolt and Drac to keep up and maybe join in the fight. Oh, it's potentially making a move down the inside there was Doug, thinking about it on Parkour, but just holding off on the run out of turn 5. Now heading through into turn 6 and 7 on the long straight. And who is going to make the move? Is anybody going to make a move? It doesn't seem like it. And the man who will make a move will be Coffee to overtake Brewdog. Brewdog, of course, did not get DRS on the run out of turn 5. and as a result that is why Coffee has effectively got the overtake. But now Coffee may be under attack from the Ferrari himself, because he will not have DRS on the run through into turn 9, but certainly one man who may have it would be Lynx, but he's just lost out of lost out of track time really, because he couldn't quite make the move stick on Murk. We'll just keep these ones though, because they are starting to put out a little gap. Oh, Coffee's off! Coffee is out! I mean, he was around Brewdog, it seems, who also, Brewdog, he seems a little bit slow. I don't know if that's because he's trying to stick to the virtual safety car Delta. I'm a little bit surprised it's only a virtual safety car, but at second DNF of the race, Mr. Poem and now Coffee. And pit stops will be made. Lynx Peace will get rid of his soft compound tyre, and I'm sure he'll go on to either mediums or hards. Let's just see what he does go for. He may even go for another set of softs. We'll see. And he's going for hard, so it's a long stint now to come for Lynx. And also we see Destroyer Drac getting rid of his hard compound tyres and go for medium, so not happy with his hards quite evidently there. But whatever happened will be interesting. Obviously we may have had a couple of incidents to note so far. But we have 2 DNFs now, Mr. Poem and Coffee, both out of the race. So we're down to 10 drivers, and we do have the best part of 50 laps remaining. Drivers just got to keep it clean, really. Right, we are back underway then. Virtual safety car, of course, called in because it wasn't a full course. I was thinking momentarily that it was actually a full course, but they are keeping the battle ahead. Doug has been dropped now. 1.3 seconds behind. He's got to close this gap quickly to get in DRS range, which actually, to be fair, he has done. And as you can see now, through into turns 15 and into turn 16 now, and Doug is still within 1 second. He's done brilliantly to pull back the gap. I think he gained about 0.6 of a second since the virtual safety car has returned out. So let's see if Murk can maybe overtake Parkour, or even can Doug make an astonishing move maybe into turn 6 or even through the bend at turn 9. And we'll just stick with them heading into turn 5 now. And it does seem like Parkour has currently got the pace just to stay ahead, but do not discount the likes of Murk and also Doug. They'll want to make a move and overtake Parkour, but they'll all try to work together if they can. Certainly Murk will be knowledgeable to know he can work with these drivers. He'll want to finish ahead of RustedBolt in particular, I'm sure. But I think he just won a mistake-free race. And let's see here, as he will have the run on to Parkour, and will make the overtake on Parkour, and that will be heading into turn 9, so there you go. And now, Murk is back ahead, as there is support for Alfa Romeo, and that will be for Parkour, and also for Lynx Peace, who has just made a move now on Pro Beast, and up into P7 on the fresh hard tyres. And oh, Coffee saying my steering wheel shut it down again. So steering problems, unfortunately, for the wheel. Coffee. And Mr. Power saying I got trashed by the Red Bull twice. Which one? There's 2 Red Bulls. There's Widget and there's Beast. I saw the one, to be fair, with Widget, the first one. I don't know if he done the second one as well, or if it was Beast on that occasion. I can't say because I didn't see the second one. But the first one, yeah, I did see the contact with Widget. That was into the turn 6-7 chicane. But we'll just see here if Parkour is going to try and get this position back on Murk. Some part of me thinks that they're just trying to use their battery a little bit too much here. PRV again, okay. Obviously send in that POV and then we'll have a little watch of it. But yeah, let's see here, Parkour, Murk and Doug continuing this 3-way battle. And in fact, I'm just going to drop it down because I think Destroyer Jack has made a move on Pro Beast. But we're going to go back up to see what Murk is doing again. Re-overtaking Parkour through into turn 9. And Murk back up into the race lead. I just want to see if Pro Beast could potentially take back the place on Drac, but I think he is a bit too far behind. Of course, Drac is on the fresh medium tyre, so that shouldn't be too big a problem for Drac. And now, in fact, he is within DRS range of Link's piece as well. So those two can follow through. Hope Bolt can make the gap back up. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, it will be tricky because once you're out of DRS range around here, and let's say you've got 3 drivers ahead who are trying to pull away, it is difficult. And Doug almost putting alongside Parkour into turn 1 as well. And let's see if Doug is thinking on the move as Parkour picks up a 3-second penalty. And now Parkour under the cosh from Doug, who was thinking about the move, you know, into turn 5, but actually thought better off it. I was thinking the Ferrari was going to go for that move. Very surprised Doug pulls out of that one. Doesn't put out much apparently, it seems like the Ferrari, but he's going again. And now on the run through down turn 6 and 7 again. But yeah, this time he's just a bit too far behind. I say that, I know it's only 0.2 of a second, but it's far enough. Especially when the other driver has also got DRS. And now we'll have the run down into turn 9. And let's just see if Parkour this time will go for the move in or out. It will be inside. And now Parkour will get the lead done, or will Murk fight it out? Couldn't quite get the grip out of turn 9 and ran a bend. Parkour is now leading, but Murk again all over the rear of Parkour through into turn 12. And that will stay as it is. As Destroyer Drac now gets the move done on Link's piece. And that will mean Drac up to P7. So back through now with Doug, and just seeing he's got the pace tonight. It's fair to say that he was leading for about a couple of corners, and then he was obviously leading early doors, lap 1 and lap 2 I think as well. So Doug has been pretty much flying in this race, and he's now keeping up with the pace of Parkour, and Murk was keeping up with Link's earlier as well. So he has been a very strong driver tonight. We'll just see how much can he battle with these two guys, knowing that they are tier 1s, Parkour and Murk obviously, who wants to be a 2-time champion this season. And let's see if he can be a 1-time champion at the end of tonight. And here we go, putting for the move and making the move on Parkour, and through goes Doug as well. Down the inside goes the Ferrari. He makes the move, makes the judgment call, and completes the overtake on Parkour. But Parkour gets the exit, making contact with the rear of the Ferrari as well. But that will mean Parkour may not be in a position to overtake Doug as a result. But we'll see as they run through into turn 9. But indeed, Parkour not quite close enough, and Doug staying ahead round the bend at turn 9. But Doug making that overtake on Parkour, following in with the tracks and the footsteps of Murk. Very nicely done there from Doug, in fact. And Destroyer Drac and Link's also continuing to just battle, as we have a nice little bird's eye view as well. Gotta love some of the bird's eye views in this game, I have to say. Like this one, I've got to say, really, really nice here at Abu Dhabi. And we're just going to stick with this battle. I mean, I would almost say like, this is also a great view. Like some of these views that they're giving us here at Abu Dhabi are lovely. And I wish some of the other tracks had better views like this, to be honest with you. Around into turns 4 and into turn 5. And of course you'll get the DRS activation point now as Doug thinking about the move down the inside here of the Alpine. And that will mean the Alpine will get the better exit though as a result. But Doug will try and push for this overtake. Parkour in the frame as well. Bolt not too far back at 2.6 seconds. But here we go. And Doug is just holding off and not going for the move. Parkour still there. Bolt is only 2.7 behind. And if they keep squabbling through corners, it will only allow for Bolt to be able to brake a bit later through corners and allow him to potentially close up. But the battle for the lead continues, and Doug is back in your race lead, making the move on Murk stick into turn 9. And Doug leading here at Abu Dhabi once more on lap 13 on Friday the 13th. And Doug heads the field as Link's piece back ahead of Drac as well, and a big move for him up to P6, and they are closing the gap as well to WBA Brewdog. The gap is at 3.4 seconds now for back to Link's and Destroyer Drac. Of course they pitted earlier under the virtual safety car, which was due to the DNF of Coffee in the Mercedes. I think we'll just see. These couple of battles are the only ones going on right now. The two Red Bulls could potentially be on for a battle as well. PRV Widget and Pro Beast. I think Widget's tyres are just losing strength right now, as the gap is at 1 second ahead of Pro Beast. So back to this one, and we'll just see if there's a chance here for Murk or Parkour to lead, heading down into turn 6, and now on the exit of turn 5. Let's just complete and see if anybody's going to go for the move. I think Murk is pushing and is pushing a little bit. I don't see a need for him to use his battery that much, but he does come from way back to be able to make this overtake, you know. Give us a good... these views I'm not that keen on, I have to admit. But here's another chance for Murk to take the place. And there you go, that's a better view, as Murk now will come into the race lead, but Parkour will follow suit. And will Parkour overtake Doug? Yes, she will. And Parkour now back up to P2. They continue this three-way battle, and I've got to say, it's been the best battling we've seen this evening. As also Drac re-overtaking Link's Piece leads to her just trying to, well, they're trying to work together to effectively close the gap up to WBA Brewdog ahead. And that's what you need to do at Abu Dhabi. You need to work together with drivers. If you're in DRS range and you're behind drivers ahead, you need to work with them. Unless, you know, Lee's 3, for instance, they don't need to be battling through corners. What they need to do is just say, right, I'm P1, okay, P2, you can overtake me on the straight, that's fine. That's what really they need to be doing. Because if they keep battling, it will only allow RustedBolt to join in. Okay, for us viewers, Bolt joining in would be a fantastic thing, as Widget's into the pit. Now, yellow flags. It's for Pro Beast on the exit of turn 16. I'm not sure if the Red Bulls potentially could have come together. But Pro Beast now is ahead, and Widget into the pit, and Bloomer still in the race, by the way, the Aston Martin, but it's a long way back on soft tyres as well. And now the run through into turn 6 once more, all on medium tyres in the top 5. And Parkour and Doug, very similar gaps as well. Parkour, though, is going to try and make this move on Murk, and may want to lead this race for quite a rare time, actually, in this Grand Prix. But here we go, Murk will not try and defend it too much, and Parkour will go down on the inside. Actually, Murk is trying to defend on the outside, but unable to do so. Parkour back ahead and back into the race lead, but Murk coming again and wanting to take a piece of Parkour, but unable to do so on the run into turn 12. And through goes Parkour once more. And as you can clearly see, they have both caught up. Lynx and Drac have caught up to the back of Brewdog, and Lynx is now ahead of Brewdog. And now Destroyer Drac will be the next one to go for the move. And he will know he just... Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Beast is out. What? I don't know what Beast has done. Beast is out of the session. This car is not moving, so to be fair, you may have actually completely lost it. Well, we saw that collision. I wonder if Brewdog was going to go into the pit lane anyway. It almost, with the speed he was taking, I almost thought that he was going to go into the pits. I'm not going to lie. I was a bit surprised with his speed into the corner, I've got to admit. He did go quite slowly through into turn 15. I was very surprised by that. It was almost like, you know, when you go into the pit lane at Austria. It almost felt like that, you know, the corner before. It just sort of felt a bit reminiscent to the pit lane at Austria, where you have to slow down for that corner before. But because of the white line going into it. But there's no white lines at Abu Dhabi at turn 15, I do not believe. But that's how it felt, so I was almost wondering if Brewdog was going to go into the pits anyway. And now, obviously, I don't actually know. Because we won't be able to backtrack on that one, because we can't see if he was definitely going to go into the pits or not. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he'll send in the incident, and he'll probably, maybe he'll say if he was going to go or not. But it was interesting why he went into turn 15 at that speed. Let's see. Because these drivers here are just coming round. Alright, there's no white line at turn 15, and this way he seemed to be going quite slowly. And the white line starts there, as you can see. So I don't really know. I've got to admit, I'm surprised he was going slowly, but I don't think Drac was expecting him to go that slowly. I mean, it would probably be a penalty, but I was surprised at the speeds that Brewdog was taking, if I'm being completely honest. But again, they'll probably send in the incidents and it'll be easier to go through. I don't know. Tricky one, eh? Tricky one on one view as well. You have to take in multiple factors on that one. So now a lot of drivers are behind the safety car, and obviously with parkour won't be able to get rid of her 3-second penalty. One thing she will not want is a late safety car as well. But it's interesting that Lynx and Drac have now stayed out. But look at their tyre life compared to, say, a parkour, a Murk, a Doug. Those three in particular. But also Bolt, he's shown very good pace in this race. And now he's finally with the likes of parkour, Murk and Doug. Can we see the real RustedBolt in this race now? Because he's finally back effectively in DRS range of those ahead. It would be interesting. But yeah, that collision, yeah. I won't talk about it too much more, but yeah, I was surprised at the slow speed, really. Well, I think we'll have another lap under the safety car as well. Yeah, we will. Right, just got to wait now, I think, just for late Bloomer to join in. So we'll actually go on board in the broadcast view with Bloomer and just wait for him to join the safety car, and then it should be in so we can go racing on lap 18. But yeah, it's been an interesting race so far. A couple of incidents to note. Certainly, probably about, from what I've seen, maybe 4 incidents actually. That's bad actually. Very bad. From what I remember. Because Mr. P had 2. Obviously, I saw the first one with Widget. Maybe coffee. Again, I don't. Oh no, it couldn't. No, not with coffee. Sorry, there wouldn't have been a coffee incident because this was the wheel. So actually, take out coffees, and then you obviously had that one just then with Drac and Brewdog. So maybe 3 incidents so far. Yeah, Bloomer gets a chance to get back up there as well. But I think the one man who will be most satisfied with that would be RustedBolt, because obviously he was still catching the likes of Parkour, Murk and Doug, even though those 3 drivers were effectively in a DRS train, and Bolt was all on his own, and yet Bolt was still catching them. So do not discount the pace of RustedBolt tonight. He may not have been up there this whole race, but he's certainly shown some glimpses of pace. So he'll be one to watch from P6. And that probably won't be what Murk wants to hear, but I think Murk will also realise, right, he wants good battles tonight, I'm sure, Murk. You know, he doesn't want a boring old race where you drive round in circles and take the title by finishing in last place or something, you know, because I'm sure he wouldn't want to do that, you know. You know, some drivers would, some drivers wouldn't, but I think what Murk wants at the end of it would be that title. But he'll want the title having driven a great race and having some good battles, which in all fairness he has done with the likes of Parkour, Doug and Lynx tonight. And long may it continue through the night. And let's see, as we are getting back underway and onto the exit of turns 15 and 16 now, and Lynx Piece will pull the gap to Drac. And I just wonder how quickly can likes of Parkour, Murk, Doug and Bolt as well, maybe Brewdog, how quickly can they take these places? Gap has been formed further back. Widget and Late Bloomer are some way short of the pace, but we're going to go towards Murk now. All over the rear of Parkour, heading into turn 6, and there we are, well actually turn 5, sorry. Purple sector 1 as well for Murk, so clearly got glimpses of pace as well on the fresh tyres, and now on the run through into turn number 6, into 7 as well. And the Alfa Romeo is only split by the Williams of Drac. Bloomer just got caught up in what happened with Widget and Mr. P. Oh, I see, yep. But at the moment, he's struggling with keeping up the pace with Widget, who is also struggling to keep the pace of all the top 7. And side by side come Murk and Parkour, and through goes Murk. He's on the medium tyres, don't forget, so he has got a tyre advantage. But he's up onto the podium places now. Next up for Murk will be the 11-lap-old tyre runners of Lynx and Drac ahead. Just keeping watch of multiple drivers here. All of the top 7 battling for places. Lynx, Drac, Murk, Parkour, Doug, Bolt and Boodog accelerating away through the field. And now Widget and Bloomer are certainly struggling to keep pace. I wonder if they have potentially any damages beyond what could have been maybe just front wing or whatever happened earlier. Surely they must have further damages. But here we go on the run through into turn 1. And it does seem like Murk is clearly there in the picture with Destroyer Drac. Would you argue Lynx would want to pull away, or would Lynx want to keep Drac in DRS to potentially defend? The thing is, I don't think it's going to be enough, because I think Murk's going to fly past Drac here. I mean, I don't think we get DRS on this run. We will get DRS on lap 21, however. But either way, there's no chance that Drac can defend this one. And Lynx will now... Murk will pull alongside. And now they will go side by side through into the chicane at turns 6 and 7. And side by side, oh, late braking! I think it's Doug there. Murk, super happy to avoid it. And this is a bit chaotic here. I think that was Doug as well, because obviously you've still got Brewdog in there, but I think Brewdog's just dropped off, and I think Doug is letting drivers through. Maybe not, I don't know. I think he was potentially, because he's dropped down from P2 to P5. But this is only allowing for Lynx Peace to push up the field and up to P1, and he is 2.5 seconds clear of the pack now. And effectively, the gap, these guys need to work together. Destroyer Drac, who is now quite a way down, unfortunately, 1 second short. And yeah, Doug, that mistake that he made has really cost drivers time. So I just lost a bit of sound for a moment, but I think we've got it back. But let's see, the 2 Ferraris now are running P5 and P6, and PRV Widget is actually making a move, potentially on Destroyer Drac here, who has to ride the curb to try and defend from the Red Bull. He's going to go for the inside move, but Widget again just holding off, and now Bloomer will enter this picture. So these 3 at the back are trying to battle it out, and Bloomer has caught up to Widget, and was thinking about a move down the inside of the Red Bull as well. But just about holds off, and we'll go back to it. I do think all the drivers are beginning to work together, and Bolt, by the way, is the man up in P2. And we'll just make sure all the drivers are behaving themselves into turns 6 and 7. So obviously we don't want any late braking again, which could cause mass destruction, effectively. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen again at this race. But we're going to go up again towards Murk, who is trying to battle here with Parkour. And a better at turn 9, but once more Parkour able to keep Murk in behind. And like the Bolt and Murk will probably feel a little frustrated knowing that they are on fresh mediums, but they are now in the gap and in the picture with Lynx Peace. It's only helped Lynx, really, he's only been able to hold out for 1 lap. And now all of these drivers are back in the picture with Parkour again. 6 seconds of time penalties now for the Alfa Romeo driver, and Parkour, I'm pretty sure, will not get onto the podium tonight. Although, did set the fastest lap, although Doug takes it off her with a 27.339. And now Lynx Peace has a few drivers to watch out for. Bolt, Parkour, Murk, Doug, and also Brewdog, who's lingering in the background here into turn 5. Let's just keep watch of all of these drivers and just see who can potentially get the job done before we enter into turn 9. It could be a chance for Bolt to lead for the first time this evening, and he will lead for the first time this evening, because through goes the Haas, and Bolt leads here at Yas Marina. So he's up to P1 now, and now with Lynx Peace, Parkour, all still trying to fight it out in the Alfa Romeos, but Murk is the next one who could think about a move on the Alphas. Obviously knowing he's got 5 laps on his medium tyres. The issue is, again, they can't take their time on trying to overtake Lynx, although Lynx Peace is going for the move on Bolt. That may leave him a bit suspect from Parkour, who does actually potentially get track limits for that. And on the outside, very, very close between Bolt and Lynx. Lynx almost running into Bolt as well. Oh, Lynx pace, crikey, that was close. Really trying to push that car and almost dropping himself and his teammate Parkour. But the Alfa Romeos now, I think this is where really Lynx Piece needs to think to be smart and should have really allowed for Parkour to go through, because they may entirely lose DRS here on RustedBolt, who's just being allowed to pull clear. I think Lynx Piece may just about. Is he just about there? Either way, you've still got Murk in this as well, and Doug not far off. The same with Brewdog, and they're all going to be squabbling here for P2. 1.2 seconds between the leaders here, Bolt and Lynx. But here will come Parkour. Side by side, the two Alfa Romeos will go. No places to lose. They can't lose too much, and they certainly can't have a collision, which almost happened single-handedly there from Lynx. But Parkour through, and Parkour up onto second place, but does not have DRS to defend now. And now a chance potentially for Murk, who will go down the inside, round the bend at turn 9, and through goes Murk, and he's back onto the podium. Some great racing here between these drivers. Bolt leading with Parkour and Murk now up onto the podium themselves, and Doug and also Brewdog will be ones to watch as Lynx Piece on the older tyres probably just can't fight too much here. Just wonder when will Destroyer Drac make a pit stop as well, because he's on 15 lap old mediums. These guys behind are almost 10 laps fresher on their tyres. And we're just going to stick with the Ferraris here with Doug and Brewdog and just see if they can make a move on Lynx Piece here. Lynx will be struggling on his tyres and may be struggling to just keep within a second. I think he may lose DRS on the top 3 in fact, which will give Doug the chance he needs. Oh, that's not the move, Dougie. That's not the move, Douglas. Relax a bit, Douglas. The move was on. You had DRS when Lynx Piece didn't. And now you're just going to lose yourself a place to Brewdog. Yeah, he didn't need to make the dive there. He didn't need to go for that. It was a bit of a silly move, really. In all fairness, Lynx didn't even defend the place against Doug on that occasion as well. But I don't really know why Doug went for the move there. I mean, all he needed to do was just sit back. He's got DRS going into turn 6 and then make the move. I don't really understand why he didn't. By the way, Murk is ahead of Parkour and on to second place. Doug is now fighting with his teammate Brewdog. And this shouldn't have even been happening, because Doug would in reality have been ahead of Brewdog and ahead of Lynx if he had just waited one corner. So all he needs to do, wait one corner, and then boom, you've got the place. So you got DRS, and Lynx wouldn't have. So yeah, it was a bit. Let's just say it was a very questionable move. Oh, Dougie, yes indeed. Right. Let's just see here with Doug 3 tenths behind, but almost putting alongside Brewdog here. No team orders at Ferrari. Well, it's pretty typical of them not having the team orders to potentially, you could argue, who's the faster driver at the moment of Ferrari? Because we've seen Doug's pace this race. He's made a couple of silly errors though, if we're being honest. But he's going to go again, and he's going to go for the move on Brewdog. And he will get the move on Brewdog and back up into 4th place. But also one thing that incident did was it cost them time, and big amounts of time as well. To the top 3 runners, it just means that they are so far behind at 3.2 seconds now. It is an impossible task to really catch up to Bolt, Murk and Parkour, who has been pretty rapid in this race. And as you can see there, Brewdog re-overtaking Doug and back up into 4th place. I think we do need to watch the leaders a bit more though, with Bolt and Murk in particular. Parkour still there. That's just dropped off ever so slightly, a gap at 7 tenths to the rear of Murk. And we'll go on board directly with Murk. Destroyer Drac, to be fair, doing well to keep the pace with late bloomer. 8 laps older medium compound tyres, but sticking with the Aston Martin relatively well. Of course, Destroyer Drac, another one from Tier 1 this season. In fact, let's try and look through the field. You've got RustedBolt, you've got Murk, you've got Parkour, Lynx as well, and Jack, all tier 1 drivers. And then you've got Brewdog, Doug, Widget are tier 3. Late Bloomer is the only tier 2 driver currently on track, having seen us lose Pro Beast and also Coffee, of course. And now Murk is not going to go for the move. He was probably thinking about it, but he does in fact hold off into turn 6. So we go again, and it should be the time when Murk may go for this overtake here. I mean, Bolt does not have much to defend with, in all fairness. We saw just momentarily on the wheel. And then again, Parkour doesn't have enough to attack with either. So really, it does look like it is advantage to Murk in this battle. And we'll go back up then, or back down, shall I say, towards Destroyer Jack, who is still in this picture, doing very well to keep the pace with Late Bloomer. But although he is quite low on his ERS as well, to be fair. So Bloomer, probably for that reason, is staying ahead of Drac. And there you go. That's the ERS level for Murk. If you saw on the steering wheel, he is doing very well. If you're wondering where am I looking on the steering wheel, if you look at the yellow bar, that's what you need to look for. And when the orange bar turns green, that is when they're using their battery. So, but I like to leave a telemetry off in a way. But sometimes it is interesting to have a look at the steering wheel. So that's what you're looking for. If you want to look at the steering wheel, you're looking for the bars. As you can see there, the yellow bar is what you're looking for to see how much battery they have left. And as you can see, Murk now making a move, but actually just hold off on the overtake on RustedBolt. So stick in at P1, P2 and P3. Parkour is all right behind as well. Through round a bend into turns 8 and into turn 9 now. I think once more Bolt just about has Murk's number, although Murk not pushing too hard for the overtake, and will very much be aware that Bolt has no battery remaining. The two Ferraris continue to battle as well in the form of WBA, Brewdog and Doug. No team orders continuing at Ferrari. They had a team principal. They may be saying don't battle too much, lads. But in all fairness, they've got no one to really look out for ahead now because they are 5 seconds behind. Although, they probably should work together a bit better because Parkour has 6 seconds of penalties. So if they can work together, they can maybe keep that gap to Parkour within 6 seconds for both drivers, potentially. In comes Lynx Peace then. He's getting rid of his hard tyres, and he will go for... What tyre would he go for? Would he go for another hard, or would he go for medium? He'll go for mediums then. So mediums are on for the Alfa Romeo of Lynx Peace, which indicates to me he may need to pit one more time, maybe for softs later in this event. And here we go again as Murk now is going to the inside and making this move stick on RustedBolt, and I don't think Bolt's going to attack it too much. Into turn 6 and into 7 now. A little bit slippery for Murk on the exit, which just enables for Bolt and also potentially Parkour as well. Parkour not using the overtake button to go for this overtake, but through will go Bolt, and into the race lead will go the Hash driver. But can Murk fight it out beyond the bend at turn 9, and now into 10, 11 and 12 again. Here with Murk, but just once more, just a bit too far short of the pace to overtake Bolt. It's turn 12, it was always going to be challenging there. We'll just keep watch of them, of course. Always battling here. Murk and Parkour have been in every battle for the lead so far in this event. Doug was involved, but unfortunately, after a couple of, let's say a couple of incidents, basically, he has just dropped off the pace. And unfortunately, now he's only battling with his teammate Brewdog. That'll be for P4. So once more into the speed trap and beyond the speed trap down at turn 5, and we'll be heading onto the straight again. And this is where Murk and Parkour will try and get some power into their cars, because Murk will be thinking out or in. He will look for the move inside, but I think he'll hold off, and indeed he will, with Parkour still there as well. Doug also overtaking Brewdog in the background, and I think they'll make the move stick ahead of Brewdog. I'm imagining Brewdog will re-overtake into turn 9, however. Speaking of potential overtakes here, Murk, I think again, I don't think he's risking moves too much. I think he knows, right, if I risk a move, I'm not winning this title. He wants to win the race, but he doesn't want to risk a stupid overtake. So that would be quite steady if he were to do that. But we'll just stick with Murk and just see what can happen here between himself and RustedBolt then. And obviously Murk will want to keep it clean this whole race as well, because if he, let's say he took out a driver, anything could happen in terms of penalties. So, you know, in last races, if a championship leader decides to take out drivers, that will be a little bit complex, wouldn't it? Where their penalties may prove critical here. As into the pits goes PRV Widget, getting rid of his 15 lap old mediums and going back onto mediums, maybe until the end. Links P setting a fastest lap as well. Interesting strategy call there from PRV Widget in the Red Bull. Set, to go on to the fresh mediums. Can they last a full 28 remaining laps? Be interesting. But let's go back towards Murk. Still not overtaking RustedBolt. And I just wonder, when will Parkour flip the switch effectively and try to entice a move on Murk and or RustedBolt. In fact, a move may be about to be made here, because Murk all over the rear of Bolt once more and through into turn 12, but not really pushing the car all too much and just allowing for Bolt to stay ahead. Oh, a 3-second penalty and almost into the wall. What has happened to Murk? He has now lost the place to Parkour, and Murk has just slipped from P2 and now to P3 with a 3-second penalty. Again, it won't mean too much if we're thinking of this title, and it will make things even more comfortable for RustedBolt, because Bolt has no penalties. The drivers behind both have time penalties now. And maybe Murk needs to quickly make this move on Parkour, and it actually, you know, this could be a brilliant thing for Murk. If he goes ahead of Parkour, maybe if he goes ahead of Bolt as well. Let's see. I don't think he's going to go for it though. I think Parkour might go for it though. She knows. She lifts off. So she doesn't go for the overtake into 6 and 7. So she decides to lift off, but she will, I'm sure, go for this overtake here into turn 9. And we'll just keep watch of the Alfa Romeo. Can be a chance for Parkour here to make this overtake stick. She will think of it down around the outside. But actually, RustedBolt just about picks her off enough. Oh, and Bolt makes a mistake! A clear slip and a slide, and Parkour draws alongside, and Parkour is thrown into the race lead. Unbelievable slip and slide. Bolt is out off the lead, and now there are slips from the 2 championship leaders, which only enables for Parkour to lead. But again, Parkour 6-second time penalty. She's not going to take the win. Unless she has an incredible miracle here or an unbelievable strategy call. But wow, that could be a massive error potentially for RustedBolt. I mean, he needs to get onto the front row, and he still needs Murk to DNF, which I'll be honest doesn't seem likely here in this race. And Bloomer now has gone into the pit lane, gets rid of his 15 lap old mediums. So we'll see if he goes for hards to the end, or maybe another set of the medium compound tyre, which is what the Red Bull or PRV Widget opted for as well when he just go for fresh mediums. So it's medium tyres now for Bloomer and for Widget, and now Bolt back side by side here with Parkour. This will be close. As we'll go on board with Murk. Obviously Murk will be one. He just need to keep this one clean as long as he doesn't really get too involved. This is a bit dangerous going for it, Murk. He's around the outside of Parkour nonetheless, but Parkour I'm sure will just hold that place. I don't think Murk will try and fight this one too much. That would have been a dangerous game to fight it all the way. Well, again, riding the curve quite a bit there, the Alpine driver. I just imagine almost running wide as well on the exit of turn 14. Surely he's not going to make a big error here. He's got about 26 laps remaining to secure this championship title. All he needs to do is finish, even though he's got a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, he just can't take too many risks here. It would be a bit silly if he did take more risks than what he needed to. Just taking the wider line on the exit of turn 5, in fact, which again probably does cost them just fractions of time. It certainly wouldn't cost Parkour fractions of time, because she will now go for the move, and they will draw side by side into turn 6. We go. This will be close between them. We'll go on board with Murk once more, and now back up, because the view into 6 and 7 isn't great, but on the exit of 7 it is lovely. And we're again pushing three-way battle for your race lead. Who will be leading into turn 9? It will be ever so close, but it will be Bolt, unless Parkour can hang it around the outside on the bend here through turn 9 into 10. But I think Bolt again is just about ahead. And this is incredible, just how close they can get, pull each other in here. You just don't want to get another time penalty, however. Certainly if you're Parkour, 6 seconds is enough. 6 seconds can still get you a podium position, even though it's a hefty time penalty. But as for Bolt, he just needs to keep it plain and simple. But at the same time, you imagine Bolt will be thinking, I still need Murk to battle. And Murk is willing to battle. It's clear to see as Doug now repasses Brewdog. Two Ferraris continuing to battle it out here for P4. But yeah, Bolt will probably be thinking, right, I want to win this race. He knows he needs to get top 2, I'm sure. But he also will be aware he needs Murk to battle it out with himself and Parkour. That's Brewdog again, re-overtakes Doug. Having quite a battle there, the two Ferraris. But also having a good battle are Lift's duos again. Parkour ever so close on the inside there of the Haas. Lifts off ever so slightly through the 6 and 7 chicane, but again will, I'm sure, get the exit, as will Murk. They are going at it again. They will effectively run 3 wide potentially into the bend at turn 9. Murk stays behind, but Parkour and Bolt are going at it, and through goes Parkour. And is there a chance for Murk to take the place as well? I think he'll just have to hold off, or will he? Yeah, he will. He just has to hold it out. On the outside, wasn't going for the move on Bolt, but Bolt will be compromised ever so slightly because of his line into the corner. But Murk just actually run wide. There could be potential track limits there for the Alpine. RustedBolt just able to hang on to P2 and actually just get squirmy on the exit of turn 16 as well, which could offer Murk a potential overtaking opportunity, and Bolt would not want to lose out on DRS to the rear of Parkour. That is for certain here. I don't think he will, but Murk will be within 0.3 of a second as Destroyer Drac now gets rid of his 26 lap old medium compound tyre. Would he go hard to the end? Would he go for another set of mediums? We shall see, but here we go again with Murk all over RustedBolt and overtaking his championship rival, and Murk is back up to 2nd place. And now let's see, on the rear of Parkour and RustedBolt still there as well. They will try and push to maybe go 3 wide almost again into the bend at turn 9. Let's see here, Parkour trying to defend this place from Murk if she can. Indeed she does. Bolt still in the picture as well in P3, but not making the overtaking opportunity on this occasion. The two Ferraris continue to play ball, and now Brewdog is back ahead of Doug. But we'll go back towards Murk because he's still all over the rear of Parkour here. Just wouldn't want to get another 30-second time penalty, which Bolt again has done very well to avoid time penalties here. He will not want another he won't want a safety car, full stop. As these two, Doug and Brewdog. Doug has now overtaken Brewdog. Oh, what's happened? Did Brewdog make a mistake? He's into the pits either way. So into the pits goes Brewdog then. And obviously his hard tyres are 20 laps old. Maybe Couldn't have got a puncture there or anything. Is he changing his wing? He's not changing his wing. He's going for fresh mediums to the end. Drac went for fresh softs, by the way. So we'll keep watching the pace of Drac and we'll see if those soft tyres fall away for the Williams later in the race. I'm sure they will. But here we go again with Murk making the move stick on parkour. And will mean one thing and one thing only, as I thought for a moment parkour was braking a bit too late. But I think she's okay. And Murk hangs out in the race lead. Yeah, it's been an intriguing event here at Yas Marino's again, drawing alongside coming Bolt and Parkour. Parkour tries to hold it on the inside, Bolt on the outside line, but I think Parkour has done a superb job getting the grip and the traction out of the corner, thinking she's Thomas Ronhart and holding out ahead of RustedBolt. But can Bolt make the move again? I mean, these two are going at it. Murk is still pushing ahead, but Murk is actually over 1 second ahead now. So Murk, is this the time when he's deciding, I'm going to bolt it? Have a watch of his ERS levels. Is he using it to try and put out the gap? To answer that question, no, he's not at the moment. And then the likes of Parkour and Bolt don't have much to defend with. If I'm Murk, I'm using that battery, and he is using that battery. Has he got them out of DRS range? I think Parkour is just about staying in it. Parkour was also using battery. I think Bolt may have been using battery as well, in fact. So they're all using battery to try and get that DRS or try and get out of DRS, whatever it may be. But here we go once more as Parkour stays within a second of Murk. But Murk is looking very healthy on his battery as Drac gets a fast lap of 26.3 on a soft compound tyre for the Williams driver. Oh, Parkour's off track. And wide goes Parkour. And will that allow for RustedBolt here to make the move on the Alfa Romeo again, just too far behind. But Parkour is beginning to show signs of a struggle. And who will make the first decision to pit? You imagine Parkour may make a decision to pit here. There's a couple of errors in Parkour's game potentially, which is interesting because she's on hard tyres. She's on hard tyres and yet she's now well outside the 1 second window. She stays out. She will stay out. So she will lose that place to Bolt now, I'm certain. A little bit surprised she didn't go in for mediums there, but either way, maybe she's thinking, if I'm struggling this much on the hards right now, she can't afford to do that. Doug, getting rid of his hard tyres. Will he go for mediums to the end? I'm sure he'll have to. I still don't think soft tyres for Drac, for instance. And again, he's going for softs now. So maybe it's getting to the point where these drivers can start to think about softs. But again, I just think softs are going to just wear out very quickly here at Abu Dhabi. Let's go back down towards Bolt then. But on this run through into turn 6, he's just not close enough, is he? No, he's not. Through into the chicane now on the exit of 7. Again, yeah, just not close enough right now, but he's going to get the DRS and the battery as well, not needing the battery, because he will fly past the Alfa Romeo, and Bolt now up to P2. So next on the cards for the Alfa Romeo will be Murk in the Alpine, but again, the gap now 1.5 seconds. Murk has really pulled out the gap that he needed, but he needs 3 seconds, the gap is now down to 1.4. As Brewdog has left the session. He's on Xbox, so he should be able to join directly off us. We will send him an invite either way. So it'll just be 2 seconds. So, also I didn't realise, but Pro Beast has also DNF from the race, so we are down to 9 drivers, and my apologies on not recognising that one. Oh, no, I did recognise that one, didn't I? Or did I? I can't remember now. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But Beast either way has joined Coffee and Mr. Poem in being DNF from the race, sadly. Obviously that didn't cause any sort of safety cars. 2 Ferraris again going at it, but that's because Brewdog is not in the lobby and Doug will go through. But Brewdog now will try and stay within a second of Doug. If he can, of course. He's on fresh meat, well, he's on mediums, Doug's on softs. So it's not really helped Brewdogless. He will get DRS, so hopefully Brewdog will be able to keep up, and as you can see, he's rejoined on the bend, and he should get DRS here as well. Let's just double check he will. Yep, his rear ring opens, and he will try to push his car to try and make sure he gets DRS on the run through into the chicane as well, which I think he will. So he's okay there, and we'll go back up the field towards parkour then. Yeah, soft tyres are now being seriously considered for drivers, certainly in the form of Doug and Destroyer. Drac mediums were the decision from WBA Brewdog, however, and nobody else on for the race lead are in the pits, but Murk continues to lead here. Again, could these two drivers, Bolt and, I was going to say, can Bolt and Parkour work together to catch up to Murk? However, Bolt goes wide, and this will just mean he'll be under a little bit more pressure here as Widget receives a 3-second time penalty in at the Red Bull, and that was actually heading round at turns 13 and 14 for the Red Bull driver. Now back onto the long straight here, Abu Dhabi, and we'll go again because Parkour will overtake Bolt here. It will be a fairly simple overtake, and now we'll rejoin the racing line to overtake into turn 6, but Bolt would obviously get the DRS into turn 9. So will Bolt try to make a move again? I think he will. Will he go in or will he go out? He will go on the outside, and Parkour does not defend it too heavily, and through goes Bolt. They just need to work together here. This isn't working together. They're not working together. They're still attacking each other here. A little bit surprised, as that was very close there from Bolt as well. But yeah, I wasn't expecting Parkour to come back at Bolt. And, you know, that's cost them again. That's cost them a good 3-4 tenths of a second. They had got it to under 2 seconds to Murk, and now it's back out at 2.3. As Parkour, in fact, goes into the pit lane. So let's see what tyre Parkour will go for. Will it be softs or mediums? Surely now we're looking at maybe softs. Yeah, no, it's going to be medium, so it's fresh medium tyres for Parkour. Let's just go on board with Doug to see where he's at in a moment. He will be heading around into turn 1. Fastest lap also for Doug, 26.3, and he's done enough to get within a second of Parkour. Parkour's car just coming out of the pit lane there. And as you can see, there's not a big gap between them. 1.8 seconds decreasing as well. So Doug not far behind and on better tyres as well, those soft tyres. So it could be potential that Doug could make this a little potential 4-way battle. Maybe even a 5-way battle if Brewdog can get in the picture as well for the race lead. And again, Drac not too far short of the pace as well. So this will be intriguing to see how many drivers will be in the battle to win here at Abu Dhabi. At least win on track. Maybe time penalties will see Murk and certainly Parkour miss out. And also let's go on board here and see if Murk thinks about the pit stop, which he doesn't. He stays out. What about Bolt? Bolt goes in. So Bolt will follow Parkour now. Parkour pitted the previous lap, and now in comes the Haas of RustedBolt. Again, will it be mediums or will it be softs for RustedBolt? What would you do in that scenario? Would you go mediums or would you go softs? A couple of drivers on softs, a couple of drivers on mediums. Bolt is now on softs. He will go to the end for 16 remaining laps here at Yas Marina. Of course, he needs to get onto the top 2. And yeah, still Murk's DNF has not happened. It would have been very, very interesting if Murk had DNF, because then we would see Bolt's race happen. But then again, it did seem highly unlikely that we would see Murk DNF. But Bolt now is in DRS range of WBA Brewdog up ahead. If you look at the gap low to Parkour, it's quite significant though. Yeah, so there's your time penalties. Parkour 6 seconds. Everybody else on 3 for Parkour, for Murk, sorry, and PRV Widget. And it's been a largely 2-stop strategy as well. Murk will stop for a second time. Bloomer has made 3 pit stops and is ahead of Widget as well. Position change on there for you as well. And Bolt making this move means he is back ahead of Bulldog and now holding down P5, which is where he started the race in. But pit stop still to happen as Murk, your race leader, your championship leader, is into the pit. And what tyres would he go for? Surely it's going to be softs to the end. Indeed it is. Soft tyres to the very end now for Murk. And unless there's a safety car, he will get those tyres to the end very comfortably, I'm sure now. Let's see how far will he drop, because Doug is there. Obviously 5 laps on his soft tyres, but he's out ahead of Murk. But Murk's soft tyres will be feeling pretty lovely right now. But Doug has 5 laps on his soft compound tyres. Murk is on fresh soft tyres. I don't imagine Doug will be able to defend very easily here. And without battery, surely it'll be an easy move to be made. I think actually pretty much pulling out of the way. And Doug not battling Murk whatsoever. Murk back onto the podium and back up into P3 then. And Doug, as you can see, just nowhere near able to keep the pace up with Murk here. And what about Bulldog further back? Yeah, he's lost ground as well. Bolt is pulling clear. 1 lap on his soft tyres. And also set a purple sector 2 as well. The gap between Bolt and Murk is quite significant. It's over 3 seconds between them. But Murk now has caught up to Parkour, who is on 2 lap old medium tyres. Now we're wondering, what does Link's piece do? Does Lynx think about a team game, maybe helping the teammate of Parkour? Potentially. But RustedBolt now, fastest lap of 25.9, so we finally got a sub at 126 on the cards here. No, we'll just stick with Murk, because I'm sure his timings will see maybe a purple sector. No, it's not purple, but he did improve it by 0.2 of a second. And let's just stick with Murk on the run down into turns 6 and 7 through the chicane. He's not really closing that gap too significantly. I know he will have the grip out the corners here at 6 and 7, but is he going to be able to overtake Parkour? That's the question. Into turn 9. And let's go. Round the bend at turn 8. And now we're approaching turn 9. Is Murk close enough? Well, the answer to that question is a very plain and simple no. Just not close enough. So he'll have to go again. Like, obviously he will be fully aware that he doesn't need to fight this too hard. Just make sure you do not bin it out of this Grand Prix, otherwise you will be in a lot of trouble if you want to win this title. We are down plain and sailing here. 14 laps of action remaining. Link's piece still will need to pit again, I think. Then again, if we take into consideration the times that people were doing earlier on mediums, he could technically run to the end, I'm sure, on those mediums, but I don't think he will. I'm sure he'll box for a set of soft tyres. As Destroyer Drac, in fact, is in for another set of softs, it seems. And actually he's gone for medium, so maybe he didn't have another set of softs. So it was mediums to the end for Drac, but either way, Murk it all. Murk almost got a track limit for that overtake on Parkour. I do wonder, the game almost could have very, very easily given him an illegal overtake for that overtake as well. Obviously it hasn't done, so Murk is back ahead. But wow, that was very close to being fully off track there for Murk. That'd have been an interesting one, because if he was off track and when he was doing the overtake, even though he clearly didn't need to go off track, I would have given him an illegal overtake. I would have told him to give the place back to Parkour, which would have then meant that he would have been under the cost potentially from Doug as well in the Ferrari. But here we go, got 100 minutes on this race now, and Murk fastest lap at 25.7, and that was some 0.2 quicker than the previous fastest lap of RustedBolt, I believe. So Murk very clearly is looking like the overwhelming favourite to win this race on track. And again, parkour, you know, could think, if I'm parkour, maybe just think about overtaking on this straight. I think she probably knows she's just too far behind here. Murk did not get DRS as well, but see how much Murk has closed. Gap to half a second to Lynx, and the move will be made here because look how close the Alpine is. Surely Lynx Piece cannot defend this one. Murk will try to use overtake mode and will go round the outside. And now, round a bend at turn 9. Will Lynx hold it, or can Murk's grip have him the advantage? It will give him the advantage he needs. And Murk leads this Grand Prix with 3 seconds of time penalties. He will try to hold on to it. Lynx Piece, though, will need to surely get rid of his mediums and go for fresh softs to the end. I'm certain that parkour will not be enjoying this one because she will be saying, move out the way. And, okay, he does pretty much move out the way. He did listen to parkour's cries, although could have done it better. Could have easily decided to box first. Darker's also in the pits. So Darker's go fresh softs to the end now. So, interesting calls. So Doug, yeah, but he was about 2.5 seconds back from Link, so interesting decision really. And as you can see, he will be a few seconds short of ours again. He just slip out of the corner as well, out of the pit lane, so that will not benefit Doug, slipping out of the tunnel. And now gap is about 4 seconds to Link's Piece. And I think there's only one man who's going to come away with this victory now. I think Murk should personally pit for fresh softs and go to the end, just for a bit of fun. Why not? Go for fresh softs, go to the end, have a bit of fun and get the win. I think he could do it, you know. I mean, obviously he'll be thinking about parkour, but parkour with 6 seconds of time penalties. Okay, yes, Bolt is looking good, but he's also got 5 laps on his softs. They won't be great at the end. Brewdog's got 11 laps on his mediums. The only ones to worry about would be really Lynx and Doug, who are on fresh softs. I don't know. For a bit of fun, I feel like it would be great if Murk did go for the pits, but I don't imagine he will, because this will come home for his 3rd victory of the season, and into the pits comes WBA Brewdog. I'm sure he'll be another one to go for fresh softs to the end. Yeah, it does make things... And it would make things interesting if Murk pitted, parkour stayed out, if Bolt stayed out as well. And then we'll see if Murk would have the ultimate pace to win. But certainly right now, Murk would win, but would he win... Well, with the penalties, I think he would, but unless Lynx can catch up. Let's see, a gap to the leader. So Lynx is about 21 seconds behind. Can he gain enough time here? With about 10 laps to go, he's got to finish within 3 seconds. It wouldn't entirely surprise me if Lynx was able to close the gap though. But can he close it by 18 seconds? I think that is highly unlikely here. But either way, Lynx will be very much pushing that car. As I see WBA Brewdog and Destroyer Jack now going for a battle. And through goes Brewdog on those fresh soft tyres up to P7 now. Coming the Ferrari. Yeah, just interested to see if Murk does decide to pit any time. At the final, well, it is down to 10 laps now actually. Still got the gap to Parkour, who could still wrap up P2 in this race, you know. With that 6-second penalty, it would mean 9.1 seconds to Murk, meaning she's only got about a 2-second buffer to RustedBolt. So we'll have to find out if that is going to be enough time for Parkour to come away with this result. Further down, they continue to battle, and Bloomer will have Destroyer Drac now. charging for that position. Down into turn 5 they shall go. And will Destroyer Drac have the overtake sorted on Late Bloomer? And this will be, I imagine, a fairly simple move for Drac, taking into consideration as well the tyre life. Bloomer 17 laps on his mediums, and through goes Drac. And Drac now is up into P7. Next up for him will be WBA Brewdog. And certainly the race is beginning to calm it down for the final 9 laps, and I think that will mean only one thing: Murk will take this championship. And in the end, he'll take it with consummate ease here. So we'll just keep watch. Maybe something could happen with not too long in this race remaining. I still think Murk could box and could still win this race, you know. He doesn't seem too keen at the moment. Link's Piece does have a time penalty as well, so I'm imagining that will be 3 seconds. So that'll be Link's Piece arguably out of the running for the victory. And with parkour's time penalties, Bolt on 8-lap old soft tyres, I still think Murk now, especially considering a penalty for Lynx, could still box. Just checking the football scores as well for anyone who is interested in them. So in Group B, it has finished Netherlands 1, France 2. Big win there for the French. Kylian Mbappe scoring both goals for the French national team. Also Republic of Ireland 0, Greece 2. So Republic of Ireland slipping up again. Is it Republic of Ireland who are the ones struggling? I think Northern Ireland are struggling as far as I can remember. Republic of Ireland, yeah, they've only got 3 points and they are set for failure to qualify for the tournament. In Group F, Estonia 0, Azerbaijan 2, and Austria 2, Belgium 3. A 5-goal thriller there. And let's see, Romelu Lukaku on the score sheet for Belgium in that one. And in Group J, Iceland 1, Luxembourg 1. Luxembourg, one of the surprise candidates to make Euro 2024. A good point for them. Also, current is it current score? Yeah, it is. No, it is full time now. Liechtenstein 0, Bosnia and Herzegovina 2, and also Portugal 3, Slovakia 2. Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 2 goals in that one. International friendlies, and it has finished. England 1, Australia 0. Only the 1 goal, but it was a first goal, for Ollie Watkins. So the victory there at Wembley for England. Any other important scores to note? Not really, in all honesty. No other international friendlies were particularly important. World Cup qualifiers in South America, actually. Not really too significant, but Brazil 1, Venezuela 1 is probably the obvious and the more notable scoreline. Brazil failing to win in that one. I think these played maybe last night, because obviously taking into consideration where South America, the time zones, I think they may have been played last night. Also Argentina 1, Paraguay 0, Bolivia 1, Ecuador 2, and Chile 2, Peru 0. But back to the racing, and Murk is indeed into the pit. He's doing what we wanted. There you go. I think he's realised, he's reading out the football scores. I have to make things interesting. And now he's going for softs. And can he catch parkour for a race win? Actually, it's not made it too easy, because he's got Link's Piece all over the rear of him. So obviously Murk has decided, right, stop reading out the football scores and get on with the racing. And indeed we will. We will get on with the racing. And let's see if Murk can first of all just keep Link's behind him. I think Link's Piece just won't have the grip really, but with the DRS, it will be using a ZRS as well, which I think he'll very quickly realise, why am I using my battery, because I cannot make this overtake. And Murk barely defending and will stay ahead, but the gap is at 14.7 seconds, and don't forget parkour's time penalty. So really, we don't need to take into consideration now the tyres for everybody, because Murk is on the best tyres quite evidently, And with that in mind, we will go to the penalty situation here. And this is what we're looking at. Murk needs to catch and overtake RustedBolt. And also needs to get within 3 seconds of parkour. And also needs to beat RustedBolt by 3 seconds. So, tough game here for Murk. But he can certainly do it. He can certainly do it on the fresh soft tyres. He'll be booming and he will be pushing for a 3rd victory of the season and his first title this season as well. First title, in fact, in UFRL for Murk. And it could be the first of 2 titles in back-to-back days for Murk as well. Let's just see. He will take the title tonight. All he needs to do is finish. And I'm pretty certain he will finish this race. Even if he got incredible damage. Even if he got 4 tyres punctured, I'm sure he'll still try and finish this race. So, whatever the case, he will try and get to the end. Here we go again with Murk. Gap out at 12.7. Oh, slip and slide out there. Well, you don't want to be doing that a bit too much. That's a little bit dangerous. You're slipping. Don't want to be slipping. That's for sure for Murk. Yes, you want to take a win, but most importantly, you want to take the title. Just make sure you take that title. Bring it home. Bring the first of what could be 2 titles home. And obviously, tomorrow night, he'll be battling his way with Mr. Poem for the international tier title. Both of which set to have taken 1 title this season. So they'll both be pushing for 2 titles. And now Murk does have that gap to Link's piece. Next up for him will be Bolt. But the gap is over 3 seconds now. And it's only, what, we're down to about 5 laps remaining as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, there you go. So get the popcorn out because Murk is on a roll and pushing for this victory. But does not want to get another slip like he clearly had on lap 53. I believe late Bloomer as well. I don't think Bloomer went into the pits. I think he did stay out PRV Widget as well. But we're going back to it now. Less than 12 seconds now. The gap between Murk and your race leader Parkour. And the gap to RustedBolt is 2.5 seconds now. So Murk is clearly closing the gap every corner we go into. And we now head round into turns 10, 11 and 12 for Murk. As our race leader, Parkour, will kickstart lap 55 or 58. The fireworks will be getting prepared for your race winner, for your championship winner as well, of course. As again, a little bit of a slide out of turn number 16 for Murk. Onto the main straight he goes, and he's almost within a second of Bolt already. In fact, tell a lie, he pretty much effectively is within a second, and he will now get DRS out of turn 5 on RustedBolt. And Murk's strategy has been to be in the battles as much as he can tonight, ensure he keeps it clean, which obviously he has done. And although he has no battery remaining, PRV Widget, 3 second penalty, 6 in total for the Red Bull. Trying to close that gap to Bloomer. But Murk again. It's all over the rear of RustedBolt. Will he go for the overtake here? Or will Bolt have enough to defend it? We shall see here. Through the bend at turn 8. Now heading into turn 9. Who will be clear? Murk goes on the outside. And he will try to hold it. Bolt will keep it on the inside line. And this is very close. For almost too close for comfort. Between the 2 title contenders here. But Bolt is just about able to keep Murk at bay. And now Murk is pushing and pushing and pushing. Here round the bend at turn 14 into 15 and 16 now. Different lines being approached. Bolt will run in a little bit deeper. Murk will accelerate even greater. Will he have the pass move? He will go potentially on the outside line into turn 1. Will he get the upper nut? Will he go underneath the hash driver? Not quite. He will hold in. He will know he will get DRS. And that will be on the run out of turn 5. And Murk was just thinking there. to go around the outside, but he would obviously get the switchback. Nicely done with RustedBolt, and he will ease his way through up into second place now. And Bolt will get into the slipstream of Murk. He won't fight this one too hard, but he will know if he can keep pace with Murk, you know, which he has a chance to do. It will be very tricky for him. But if he can keep pace with Murk, this is where it could be dangerous for even parkour. Now, let's see if Bolt is going to make a move on Murk. I don't think he will, as he gets very close to the rear of the Alpine. Murk stays ahead, and now Murk needs to gain about 6 seconds on parkour, which will be some job, it's fair to say. And it is all down to one man and one man only, Murk. But parkour still has your race lead and still has about a 5.7 second buffer to Murk at the moment. So any one of these top 3 can win. Parkour, you've still got Murk there. Bolt, okay, let's be honest, is a very outside chance for Bolt to win, but you can't exactly rule him out completely right now. But I certainly think it will be either Parkour or Murk to come away with the victory. But which one will it be? We're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Parkour flying through the straight. Murk needs to finish within 3 seconds. He's inside the 8-second window, but it's not enough. He needs to close up by another 5 seconds on the final 1.5 laps here. Through the turns 6, 7 chicane. And Murk still pushing all the way. No battery remaining, which is highly unlike Murk, but he's obviously trying to make this race exciting. And now, into the Sector 2 split. I also just want to double check on the fastest lap, because I do think that will be important. And it is Murk, 25.7. So clearly, a very quick fast lap also for Murk. Issue is for him, the gap at 7.4 seconds now. He will need to close in by about 4 seconds on the final lap just to make things interesting. Parkour though, out and on to lap 58 we go. The final lap of the Grand Prix, and it is the Alfa Romeo of Parkour who is on for an incredible victory here at Yas Marina. But it's only really due to Murk trying to make things interesting on his fresh off tyres. Drac also making a pass on Late Bloomer on the run down to turn 9. But we'll go back towards Murk, who is going to pass with flying colours here in the 100% tier this season. The final lap of the Grand Prix, and he is still pushing for the victory. His 3rd win of the season is on the cards, but he's got to gain by more than 3.5 seconds through what will be not many corners. About 10 corners remain here. Not even that. Can Murk pull within 3 seconds? Drac 24.8, fastest lap now for the Williams, and that will mean Murk cannot get the Grand Slam tonight. But here we go. Only a few corners remaining. Parkour and Murk both in the final sector. And here we go, the Alfa Romeo of Parkour, who has been superb for large parts of this race, and coming round at turn 14, now through the quick right-handers, double right-handers, through 15, and into turn 16 here. Parkour will come home, and the Alfa Romeo will take victory at Yas Marina, but the championship will be won, and the Alpine of Murk wins the 100% tier title. Despite only runner-up here, the title will be won. Murk on top in the 100% tier. Bolt secures a podium as well. A superb drive from him to come back through the field. P3 for the Haas. Doug takes P4, a couple of errors early on. He had the pace on show, but he holds off his teammate in particular and wraps up a top 4 finish. Links Peace, 5th place for the Alfa Romeo. Again, another driver who has shown promising pace here tonight. Brewdog P6 in the Ferrari. I think in the end will settle for a top 6 finish. Link's Peace, by the way, did actually finish the race. It is a game glitch. He did finish in P5. Destroyer Drac, getting my words out, will come home in P7, not P6. The game tells a lie. P7 for Destroyer Drac. Late Bloomer will come home in P8. Again, telling a lie, not P7. And the final corner comes Widget. But we're going to go not to your race winner, Parkour. We're going to go to your championship winner. and Murk takes the 100% tier title. And now, this makes things interesting. Driver of the day goes to Parkour, the in-game driver of the day, of course. But heading into your international tier season 5 finale on Saturday 10 o'clock PM, and it will go down to 2 drivers for the title. Mr. Poem, who won the tier 1 title on Monday in an incredible race at Mexico, or Murk, who won this race, well, came home second, sorry, but secured a 100% tier title tonight. So it's all going to go down to the wire, go down to the wire between Murk and Poem, who will both vie for their second title of Season 5. Who will take the second title is the question. Willie Fernandez will be on commentary duty for that one, but it will go down to the wire between Murk and Mr. Poem to secure that international tier title. But that has been a superb race tonight in the 100% tier. Congratulations to Murk on the title, and congratulations to Parkour and Alfa Romeo for taking the victory. And we'll just start to prep ourselves for a raid as well. Let's see who's out and about. Let's see. F1 23, if it lets us go to it. So we've obviously gone with JB quite a few times. Is there anybody else who we could go for? So they're doing a league race. There's no point doing league races. I mean, quite a few seem to be doing open lobbies actually. So we've got a bit of a pick, I suppose. But let's go back. Is this open lobby English? No, it's not English speaking. I can clearly see that because they're under a safety car and it does not say safety car. It does, but it doesn't say it in English. So obviously, move away from that. I think we may have to go through one of the people we do normally go through. In all fairness, I'm thinking JB again, unless we find someone else. We've done that one before. Fun Aura. Don't know, should we go Fun Aura again? It was quite a while ago now that we actually went with him. I don't know, maybe we'll just go with him. So it's Fun Aura 01. Right, we'll go with that one. Might as well. Yeah, again, thank you for watching tonight's race. Very entertaining, particularly earlier in the race before some of the safety cars and a bit of the carnage, of course, that happened. But congratulations to both Parkour and Murk. Murk for the title, Parkour for the race win. And now we're just going to get the raid sorted out. Yeah, that'll be it for me tonight, and we will be coming back tomorrow night, 10 o'clock PM, and it will be your international tier finale. Thank you for watching. I have been Viva F1 Comms, we have been UFRL, and we will be back on Saturday night.